A world premiere movie, Island City, Wednesday at 8.
Closed captioning for 6 News provided by Planned Parenthood, serving the reproductive health care and educational needs of Central Indiana for more than 60 years. You're watching TTV4, your Indiana sports station. This is 6 News at 10 with Clyde Lee, Diane Willis, weather with meteorologist Bob McLain, and Ed Sorensen on sports. Now, live on TTV4, 6 News at 10.
Good evening to you. It's been close to 2 weeks since an 11-year-old Southside girl disappeared, but no one is giving up on finding LaShonna Bates.
No, they're not. A reward now is being offered for her safe return. A task force is sending flyers with the little girl's picture all over the state. Denise Dillon tells us more about the search for LaShonna Bates.
Please, sir, touch the hearts of whoever it might be that is hiding or shielding LaShonna.
Members of LaShonna Bates' church gathered together for a prayer for the little girl's safe return. Her mother is thankful for all of them.
I'm glad. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't make it.
LaShonna was last seen February 15th near the village pantry at Meridian in Arizona. As the days go by, more and more people are coming together to find this little girl. A special task force is printing hundreds of flyers with LaShonna's picture and information. They will be put up all over the city.
In and out, especially places where children grow, the grocery stores, the arcades, the schools. Every school bus in this city, hopefully within the next 24 to 48 hours, will have a picture of LaShonna in it.
The Indiana Black Expo has set up a fund to raise money for a reward.
And we wanted to take a stand as well in this particular case. And it maybe set a standard for others to say that when children like this are abducted.
The reward is already up to $5,000, thanks to 500 liquors.
That's a significant amount. I think it's justified, and I think anything we can do to find her is very important at this point.
The task force wants 1,000 people to meet them here at the Black Expo building Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. There will be a massive search for LaShonna. They will be searching all over the south side and near the village pantry where she was last seen, hoping to find anything that will lead them to this little girl. Denise Dillon, 6 News.
The Black Expo has set up an account with Bank One for this reward, and if you'd like to help out, you can drop a check off at the Black Expo building. It's on North Meridian Street. The Zachary Snyder Law now on its way to Governor Bai for his signature. Zachary, the Cloverdale boy who was murdered last summer, allegedly by a convicted child molester. The bill named after him would create a statewide registry of convicted molesters. It would also restrict their ability to hold jobs working with children. The Senate voted earlier this evening to accept House changes in that measure. It cleared the way now to send the bill to the governor. Clyde.
A 12-year-old West Side youngster faces a charge of auto theft in connection with a weekend accident that killed 1 child and injured 5 others. Police say the youngster admitted that he knew the car was stolen when he got behind the wheel, put the car in reverse, and backed up 80 feet through a West Side apartment complex. 14-year-old Angela Pippin died within an hour of the accident. The victim's family says the complex has become a dumping ground for stolen cars, but that police ignore the problem.
These guys run around stealing these cars, and the thing about it, the bad part about it, they called the police and made a police report. And police said they couldn't do nothing about it because they hadn't got a report, you know, but the people up here was calling.
Prosecutor's office says it may seek additional charges of reckless homicide against the youngster. The mayor of Crawfordsville says there's nothing he can do to stop a KKK rally planned for his city, but he's asking city residents to boycott this event. Tomorrow, Montgomery County Commissioners expected to formally approve the April 2nd rally planned for the courthouse steps. Mayor Philip Michael says there's no place in society for hate groups, but the First Amendment gives the Klan the right to meet in Crawfordsville. He says a boycott is the best way to let Klan members know the city is, quote, not receptive to their message of ignorance and intolerance.
The Perry Township School Board dealing with whether to add a board member to their ranks tonight. The reason? They need someone to represent the IPS students bussed into their district. Board members have been considering this proposal for some time, and tonight they approved that measure, 4-1. Jim Parsons with the rest of the story.
This may be a Perry Township school classroom, but not all of these students live in Perry Township. Under the federal desegregation order, more than 1,200 students are bussed in from IPS's district.
That's what my figures add up. Is that correct?
Until now, the school board has included only Perry Township residents. Tonight, the board acted on an issue that's been talked about here for 13 years, creating a board seat for someone from the IPS district.
I have a real problem with this idea. I think telling somebody who they have to vote for is equally as wrong as telling somebody who they can't vote for. And with this plan, we do have the possibility that when somebody walks into the polling booth and they have 4 votes for this election, they will be told one of those votes, if it is to be used, will be determined between a set different group of candidates.
Until they feel they're represented, until they feel they're part of the decision-making process, you're never going to have a Perry Township community. You're going to have a Perry North and a Perry South. And I think it's time in Perry Township that we become a Perry Township educational community and do away with Perry North and Perry South.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye. The proposal passed 4-1 tonight, and now Jesse Jude, who lives at 25th and Emerson, hopes to become that first minority school board member in Perry.
I feel if you have 1,200 students coming out here, you should be able to run for the school board.
Now the state has to approve this decision to reorganize the Perry Township School Board. That process should take 7 to 8 months, which means that the decision made here tonight will have no impact on the school board elections here in May. In Perry Township, Jim Parsons, 6 News.
Also tonight, the Perry Board voted to take over busing of IPS students. They'll contract with private companies to provide that service.
5 more days until the Blackburns move into their new home. This has been a long time coming for Dan and Kathy Blackburn and their 28 adopted Haitian children. They began packing for this anticipated move a year ago, and they want to transport the bulk of their things before the moving day on Saturday. They're leaving this old school building in Jennings County for a new house just outside Shelbyville. 16-year-old Yvonne Blackburn is especially excited about this move. That's because she'll no longer have to share a bedroom with 4 young brothers.
I get my own room, and you get your bathroom, and the plumbing's better there, lots of stuff.
Only 2 to a bedroom in the new house, where volunteers are still working to get the place ready for Saturday. The big move.
Close quarters with 4 brothers.
Yes.
The man accusing Joseph Cardinal Bernardine of sexual abuse takes back what he said. Coming up on 6 News at 10, we'll hear from both men and find out why the Cardinal is no longer part of that lawsuit.
Lorena Bobbitt, a free woman tonight with travel plans on her mind.
I'm meteorologist Bob McLain. It looks like as we change from February to March, we're not going to see a big change in the overall weather pattern. Detailed forecast coming up.
In Indiana, it happens every February. Your Indiana Ford dealer's inventory tax clearance. Your chance to save big on an F-150 with speed control, tilt steering, AM/FM stereo cassette, and more. No wonder F-150 is America's best-selling truck. If there's one time of the year to get big savings on a new Ford car or truck, it's right now during your Indiana Ford dealer's inventory tax clearance. More reasons why your Indiana Ford dealer's the one.
Number 1 in America, your Indiana Ford dealer's the one.
Home equity credit is like any other tool. It's helpful if you use it right. That's why we give you our exclusive Home Equity Advisor, a free toolkit full of information to help you borrow wisely. We also give you a great low interest rate. So to learn more about equity credit, call or stop by any National City Bank. To learn more about hammers, call any hardware store. National City Bank. We're going the distance for you.
There are certain things you expect to come in pairs. Shoes, for instance. You don't buy one, you buy a pair. Not one earring, but a pair. Same goes for bookends. Not so with groceries. Until now. Because when you buy one of many selected items at Kroger, you now get another one like it free. So stop by and buy a pair of groceries.
Soft and gentle bath tissue, 4-roll package, buy one, get one free. And Lipton tea bags, 100-count box, buy one, get one free.
As the amount you spend with your Discover card goes up, your interest rate goes down with the Smart Rate program. So use the Discover card, where the percentages are always in your favor. And when it comes to Smart Rate, it pays to look for your pre-approved Discover card application. Sign it and send it back, because you can't get Smart Rate until you get your card. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back.
American warplanes shoot down 4 Serbian war jets that violated a no-fly zone over Bosnia.
And this move comes after months of inaction, even though a warning has been in place since October of '92. This is the first time that warplanes from Alliance, NATO, have fired on Bosnian Serb planes over the region. The incident occurred over Banja Luka, a northwestern city that is a stronghold of Bosnian Muslim forces.
They were clearly there with hostile intent. They were given a warning. They declined to accept that warning. They were shot down. Frankly, they can have expected nothing else.
No Americans were hurt in the bombing, and the Serb warplanes did not return fire. A Roman Catholic cardinal can breathe easier tonight. The man who accused Cardinal Joseph Bernardine of sexually abusing him in the 70s dropped his accusations.
34-year-old Stephen J. Cook told the court in a filing that he now realizes his memories of the alleged abuse by Bernardine were unreliable. He says his memories were aroused during and after he underwent hypnosis.
Since I cannot be sure my memories of abuse by the Cardinal are accurate, I can no longer proceed in good conscience. I have therefore dismissed all claims against Cardinal Bernardine.
I'm very, very grateful that I have been vindicated by a total and voluntary dismissal of the charges brought against me.
Cook had also accused the Archdiocese of Cincinnati and officials, including the current Cincinnati Archbishop, of negligence for allowing Cook to be abused. Lorena Bobbitt was released today after a 5-week stay in a state mental hospital for sexually mutilating her husband. A judge ruled that she was no longer a threat to herself or to anyone else.
I've been to McDonald's already. I guess next step is Disney World.
Bobbitt was acquitted by reason of insanity in January and had been ordered to undergo psychiatric evaluation. She also made a plea for battered women to get help, the couple seeking a divorce.
Lorena Bobbitt says she wants to go to Disney World. Nancy Kerrigan already visiting the Magic Kingdom. The Olympic silver medalist was the guest of honor in a parade yesterday. Disney, one of the companies she signed a multi-million-dollar with to endorse their product. Another new multi-year deal was announced today. She'll be endorsing Revlon makeup products. Actor Jack Nicholson in trouble with the law tonight. The star of such films as A Few Good Men and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, charged today with assault and vandalism. The Los Angeles City Attorney's Office says Nicholson got into a fight 3 weeks ago with a motorist in Hollywood.
It's the last day of February.
Yes.
Now the big question is, will winter be over? Will March come in like a lion or a lamb?
And Bob is up next with the answer to this yearly question.
Do you, Kim, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband?
The bride, the groom, the minister, and the best man all work at Old Country Buffet. Later, we'll be part of that wedding party.
Only one gift in the world gives you fruition. It's free with any $15 Estee Lauder purchase. Through March 12th that airs.
What's the best thing about American Family Auto Insurance? Well, why not ask my mom? She's had American Family for over 20 years.
Well, really, you should ask my dad. He's had American Family Auto for over 30 years.
They take care of my family. I like that.
Loyalty, the mark of satisfied customers.
American Family Insurance.
Look in the white or yellow pages for the American Family agent nearest you.
The numbers are in, and you've made 6 Before 6 #1. It's hard-hitting, in-depth coverage of special stories at a special time. If you haven't seen 6 Before 6 yet, don't miss it tomorrow. Then, stay tuned for the newscast the Society of Professional Journalists calls Indiana's Best. WRTV 6 News at 6 o'clock with Indiana's most watched anchor team. 6 Before 6, followed by 6 News at 6. See what people are talking about tomorrow.
This portion of the news is sponsored in part by Scepter Herbicide.
On the surface, all herbicides for no-till may appear the same. But when you probe further, it's easy to see why Scepter Herbicide works best for no-till. It cuts through the residue and stays in the top few inches of the soil where weeds germinate. So you get weeds before they start, right on through to harvest. Don't be left in the dark. See your Cyanamid Agri-Center dealer for Scepter.
Well, it feels almost as warm out tonight as it did during the daytime. It's
Hasn't
not
been
bad.
a big change in the temperature. We've only dropped back a few degrees thanks to the cloud cover. And as we change from February to March, we're going to notice Not a big change in that overall weather pattern. Still have the possibility of a little light snow, patches of light snow tonight, mainly over the southern two-thirds of Indiana, but as we mentioned, it looks like it's going to be on the light side. Well, the March outlook is out, and it indicates that temperatures are expected to be near normal. You can see that we go up about 13 degrees in the normal height temperature from the 1st to the 31st, rising only about 11 degrees for the normal low temperature. Looks like it may be a little drier than normal. We get a little bit more than 3 3/4 inches of rain and melted snow, and the snow itself, we average about 3.5 inches. Well, outside right now, we have generally some cloudy skies. A few flurries of snow are being detected there at the airport. It's 35 degrees, wind out of the northeast at 10 miles an hour, and the barometer is rising. Today's high was 37, so as we mentioned, only dropped back 2 degrees from the afternoon high. The low this morning was 23 degrees. There's your times of sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. Well, there's kind of a little ribbon or finger of some flurries of snow extending from Danville and Champaign and Mattoon, Illinois, and east central Illinois, eastward across the central portion of the state. The activity is moving due eastward at about 20 miles per hour, but if the snow occurs in your area, it looks like it's going to be very light. There is a little area of light snow capping this general area of rain that extends from St. Louis on back toward Fort Smith, Arkansas, and around Dallas, Texas. This is the area that is moving eastward now at about 15 miles per hour. This morning, record lows, 6 below in Flint, Michigan. It was 1 below in Detroit, 2 below in Youngstown, Ohio, and also in Toledo, 18 in Roanoke, and 22 in Asheville, North Carolina. That area of disturbed weather is being kicked off by this area of low pressure and this weakness or trough in the atmosphere. As it slides off to the east, it is going to be bringing the possibility of some rain from southern Indiana on southward to the Gulf coastal states. But notice how far to the south that area of low pressure was, so its impact on our weather is going to be very minimal in nature. So any precipitation that we do get tonight or early tomorrow is going to be very light in nature, as most of the dynamics or the forces connected with this particular system will be concentrated a little further to the south. So for tonight, cloudy skies. There is a chance of some patches of light snow floating through parts of the viewing area. Temperatures dropping down mid-20s to about 30. For tomorrow, cloudy and cool. Could be some, again, patches of very light snow or flurries, mainly in the morning hours, and temperatures mid to upper 30s at best. Then we do a little better on Wednesday, not a great deal. Tack on a couple of more degrees of temperature, have varying amounts of cloudiness, and highs ranging between the upper 30s and the mid 40s. The extended outlook indicates that the tail end of the week doesn't look too bad, especially Friday with highs possibly up around the 50-degree mark. The other days, Thursday and Saturday, in the mid-40s, and those 3 days look like they'll be dry in nature.
Oh, this is going to be good news.
It's going to be golf news.
Getting a little farther away from that Arctic air.
Yes, we are. Thank you, Bob, and more sunshine. Great. Well, Purdue University will have a new logo for its mascot, the Boilermaker Special Locomotive. This is the look that's being used currently. It's the 4th in a series of locomotives the school first started using in 1840. But in just a few weeks, wow, look at that, beginning with the NCAA postseason tournament, the 5th symbol will be unveiled. New image maintains a touch of the original Victorian look, but adds a contemporary feeling of motion and progress as well, they tell us. Purdue research shows Boilermaker is unique to the school. No other college or university has the name for that mascot. That does look good.
It does look good.
Looks like it's moving when it's standing still.
Coming up next, a look at the Chicago Bulls. Life after Michael. That is more straight ahead.
The news is sponsored in part by Extrazine 2. The people who go no-till go Extrazine 2.
With a gentle hand and an eye on the future, they're changing how they work. They're taking their corn no-till. And while that means less erosion and more soil moisture, it also brings on real needs for burn down of emerged weeds, for residual control while the corn grows. They are finding the solution. Extrazine 2. The people who go no-till go Extrazine 2.
The Indianapolis skyline looked like this in 1960, when Indianapolis Power and Light Company was planning for energy consumption in the year when the city would look like this. The skyline now has IPL plans for energy consumption in the year when the skyline will look like this. The skyline in 2025. All right, we're not sure it'll look just like this, but its energy demands will grow. So we don't wait for the future to plan for it. Indianapolis Power and Light Company.
At Reeves Buick Pontiac, you have to be totally satisfied before we're satisfied. You have to be satisfied you got the best deal. Satisfied you've got the best customer follow-up, the best financing plan and rates, the best vehicle preparation, and the very best service. Before we hand you these, you have to be satisfied.
We're not satisfied till you are. We're not satisfied. We're not satisfied till you are at Reeves Buick Pontiac.
Welcome back, everybody. The Pacers get back to work tomorrow night when the Portland Trail Blazers come calling. Portland is 34-21. The Pacers have won 12 of the last 14, 7 straight at home to get to 28-25. They are playing as well as any team in the NBA right now. Speaking of the NBA, late night tonight, Cleveland leads the Bulls in the fourth quarter in Chicago, and the Jazz lead the Rockets by 10 at halftime. On the top 25 board, UConn survives Georgetown by 4. Louisville, a lopsided win over Howard, 108-65. And Marquette by 21 over the Dons of USF. Closer to home, U of I wins over Oakland City. And Indiana State gets hammered by Tulsa. Terrible year for the Sycamores. While Michael Jordan takes aim at more 80-mile-an-hour fastballs down in Florida, the Chicago Bulls are still taking aim at their 4th consecutive NBA title without Mike. Ken Tomash has more on the effect Jordan's retirement from basketball and his spring fling with baseball are having in the Windy City.
It's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
First, Michael Jordan threw us a curve. Now he's trying to hit one.
It's no gimmick. That's my motto. It was no gimmick from day one.
While some of the White Sox might hope Jordan's presence this spring doesn't keep them from a championship, the Bulls are finding out that Michael's absence might not keep them from doing the same after all. Through 54 games last season with Jordan, the Bulls were 37-17. After 54 games without Jordan this season, 37-17. But there is a difference.
Superman's not here anymore, so it makes it a lot tougher. We have our trouble scoring sometimes, and on those nights, it makes it awfully tough for us. In the past, when the team would have trouble scoring, they'd throw it to Michael, and he would kind of take care of things, and we don't have that luxury anymore.
With Jordan gone, B.J. Armstrong and Horace Grant became first-time All-Stars, and Scottie Pippen has blossomed into a most valuable player candidate. But don't try telling the Bulls that that's a new development.
I guess you guys have to be here, the ones who haven't seen him night in, night out. He's been playing this way ever since I've been here. Now all of a sudden he's just getting more credit because maybe Michael isn't here.
I mean, I feel like that I've been a leader out on the ball club and out on the court. I try to do the things that make us a good ball club, and that's make everybody around me better.
So far, Michael Jordan's had anything but a banner spring in his attempt to make the White Sox, but it doesn't stop the folks here at Chicago Stadium from thinking that he can help the White Sox win and that the Bulls can still win without him.
He might not be Frank Thomas, but he can play.
And with his hand-eye coordination, I really think the guy can play in the major leagues.
Do you think the Bulls miss Michael? Do you think the Bulls miss him, really?
It certainly doesn't look like it right now, the way they're playing so far.
I would think they're going to miss him in the playoffs, but they don't seem to be missing him now because they're playing very well.
You think he can play baseball?
Michael's a great talent, and I wouldn't count him out until the fat lady sings.
I think most guys think it's going to be a long shot, but I think we're all hoping he makes it.
The NBA Finals should run right up until about June 21st, when the White Sox will be on a West Coast road trip. But even if Michael Jordan is still playing baseball then, the Bulls may prove again that they are still basketball's boys of summer. At Chicago Stadium, Ken Tomash, 6 Sports.
That guy got me in the eye with that flying wiener shrapnel. Man, never interview somebody whose mouth is full of hot dogs.
Michael Jordan still gets a press conference a day, doesn't he?
Oh, he's almost as famous as Bob Knight. Almost as many people want to talk about him.
Thank you, Ed.
Not only was love in the air tonight, but so was the smell of good food as an Indianapolis couple exchanged I-do's. We'll explain right after this.
At first glance, Partner may look like any other dry herbicide, but closer examination reveals something remarkable. Locked inside each microcapsule of Partner is a full season of superior grass control. The kind of timed release control you need for cleaner fields and bigger yields. So if you're looking for grass control that stands the test of time, take a close look at Partner season-long control that's easy to handle.
In Indiana, it happens every February. Your Indiana Ford dealer's inventory tax clearance. Your chance to save big on a Taurus with standard dual airbags, V6 power, real 6-passenger seating, and more. No wonder Taurus is America's best-selling car. If there's one time of the year to get big savings on a new Ford car or truck, it's right now during your Indiana Ford dealer's inventory tax clearance. More reasons why your Indiana Ford dealer's the one.
Number one in America, your Indiana Ford dealers are one.
In the 21st century, genetic science brought our world to the very edge of extinction. Now, a new breed of humans.
This is going to take some getting used to.
A new breed of warriors.
A recessive in the RCF?
Half recessive. Face an enemy that is beyond imagination.
We're about to be outgunned.
Don't bet on. In the battle that will decide the fate of our world. The battle for Island City.
Wednesday night at 8 on TTV4.
I think everybody remembers, of course, and dreams of their wedding day.
Of course. Well, for one Indianapolis couple, that dream meant tying the knot where they work. On one side of the restaurant, customers were eating dinner. On the other, a wedding was underway. Two of the restaurant's employees were tying the knot this evening. Kimberly Smith is usually the day cashier. Her groom, Curtis Mickle, is the night supervisor. The two of them met almost a year ago, and they chose to start their lives out together where it began.
We both work here, and most of our friends are here, so they couldn't get the night off, and the only way we could really get our friends involved is to have it here.
So they did. Most of the wedding party, as he said, works here. From the best man to the minister, the couple exchanged vows while customers looked on.
Well, it was different. I've never saw a wedding while I was eating before.
I thought it was very, very unusual. Something for the books. Something she can tell her grandchildren about.
After the couple sealed their marriage with a kiss, it was back to work for some of the bridal party. The best man was only on a meal break.
I see newsroom weddings in the offing end of this.
Like that?
Yeah.
With equally difficult schedules, morning and evening.
That's right. That's our news for now.
Have a good day tomorrow. Good night.
Stay tuned for Rescue 911 next here on TTV4.